This is the plaintiff, Patricia Barton. She says she's known the defendant for 40 years. And once they reconnected after being apart, their relationship went from 0 to 100 instantly. Unfortunately, as time went by, it became evident the defendant had financial problems, and she foolishly lent him money. Now she can't seem to get the louse to pay her the $1,002.20 he owes her. So she's taking him to court. This court, the People's Court. This is the defendant, Carmine Ferraro. He says he and the plaintiff got into a pretty serious relationship, but once it became a little rocky, it turned from I'll help you and you help me into pay me everything I loaned you. Loaned? There were no loans. This was a relationship where both people contributed, plain and simple, so he owes nothing. He's accused of being a real heel.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Patricia Barton, you are suing Carmine Ferraro for $1,002.20 that you say you loaned him in the space of a couple of weeks, and that he has not repaid. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, I've known Mr. Ferraro for a very long time. I graduated with his brother. I've known his parents, and approximately June 17th, we bumped into each other. I recognized him immediately. He didn't recognize me, but then we, after talking, we exchanged phone numbers. Our first phone call lasted 15 hours. I mean, yeah, I know. 15 hours.
Like, who has 15 hours to be on the phone? Who has a job?
It was pretty intense, but there was a lot of laughter. There was a lot of familiarity. We got back, we reacquainted with each other.
Okay, so you talked for 15 hours?
Yes, our phones had died. We had to plug it back in. We even tried at the house phone a couple of times because we had to recharge the phone. It just was so comforting. I really hadn't dated after my husband passed away. So
when did your husband pass away?
In 2009. So he had asked me to go out on a real date for that Friday. And then Friday, I could not wait to see him on a real date after all these years. And it just went, the sparks were just there. It was just really great. Within 2 weeks, he had confessed that he was having financial issues, and then he even borrowed the money to take me out on the first date from a friend of his from work. And, but by that time I said, if you're having that much problems, we could have just had a pizza and watched a movie. We didn't have to spend money for you to go in debt. And I offered to help him with budgeting. I'm very good, with finances and being on my own. I have no choice. Within a couple of days later, I didn't hear from him. And I called him, what's going on? And, he was giving me I'm humiliated. You're too good for me. I don't deserve you, but I'm having some financial problems. My utility was shut off. And I said, oh my God, I said, bring over the bill. Let's figure it out.
What does let's figure it out mean? You pay it?
I told him that I would pay it to get it turned on.
You just started dating this guy.
I know, but I knew his family for 40 years.
What difference does that make? Look at you. Where are you now? Because I can't help but notice that you're standing here in front of me.
I know. I'm broke.
So, if you're so good with finances, it sounds to me like you stink at finances.
No, I had money.
No, you do. You stink at finances because there's a guy who first of all, it didn't end well. You stopped dating. Right?
Yes.
Okay. And then he owes you a bunch of money that he's not paying you. Mm-hmm. And you have to sue him. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you good with finances or bad with finances? Because it lasted, 25 minutes?
No, but my bills are paid.
It turns out you're bad with oh, I see. So you're good with your own finances.
Yeah.
But if someone walks by with like a twinkle in his eye, that's the end. Then you're no longer good with your finances. Then you act like a little schoolgirl tossing money at him.
No.
Yes. That's why you're here and suing.
No, I help a lot of people. I take care of a lot of elderly people that, if they need rides.
Stop.
Stop.
That's milk of human kindness stuff.
Yes.
If this was milk of human kindness stuff, then why are you suing?
No, because I had said to him that I would help you, but the only money that I had put away was the money that I was saving to move. I have to move.
Oh my God, it gets worse. So not only do you end up throwing money at a guy who just started dating, mm-hmm. but it was money that you needed. So it was money that you really shouldn't be throwing around.
And he agreed that he would pay me back.
How'd that work out for you?
He made me one payment.
How'd that work out for you?
Not so good.
Oh, okay.
But
What's going on, Mr. Ferraro?
Right, Your Honor.
Well, it's basically like she said, the relationship got very serious. And when I asked her, well, she more or less volunteered to help me. And when she did that, it was my understanding that it was, we were a couple. We even talked about moving in down the line. And all of a sudden, things got rocky between us.
When she loaned you, okay, it wasn't just one bill. It was public service, $275. What's public service?
That's utility. That's electric and gas.
Comcast, $416.40.
And that wasn't his whole bill. I have his bill. It was $675.
For what?
He was so behind in his Comcast.
Sunoco gas, $45.
He had
Food Town, $209. And a pawn ticket, $231.80. What was a pawn ticket for?
He needed more money, and I said, I have no more cash.
So you pawned something?
I pawned a bracelet to help him.
What is wrong with you?
I wanted to help him. I wanted to help him.
You wanted this man.
No. Well,
yes.
he also has.
Look at me. If you have to buy a guy.
I wasn't buying it.
It kind of sounds like a woman who just met a guy is all excited and he needs money. So you're going to pour money you don't even have. You're going to pawn stuff. Why doesn't he pawn stuff? And if he doesn't have it, then I guess we just do without cable that month.
Because he had something in pawn and he needed money to get it out and pay the interest until his next paycheck.
What's the pawn ticket you're suing for?
The total price?
No.
Oh, no. Oh,
Is it your bracelet that you pawned to give him money you didn't have?
Yes.
Do you understand how desperate that sounds?
It sounds very stupid. Yeah. Very stupid.
Yeah, so why don't you stop making excuses and acknowledge that, you kind of behaved like a very stupid little girl. And what's your excuse?
I never told her to do anything like that.
Did you know? Stop talking. It's your turn to stop talking. Now it's your turn to start talking. I want you to explain how you see somebody who you haven't seen in all these years. She's all excited about you. You borrow money to take her out, and then you end up sticking her with $1,000 in bills. How does that happen?
I never had any intentions of asking her for the money. I was going to go.
But you took it. You were happy to take it.
Yes. Well, she
kind of a gigolo. So why are you taking the money?
She offered it to me.
Well, I
could have went and got it somewhere else, and
Well, why didn't you get it somewhere else instead of from some woman who likes you and who has to pawn stuff to give you money because she's so pathetic?
Because it's
kind of pathetic. It's abusive on your part.
Well, she practically insisted on wanting to do it. And it was like she was going to get mad at me if she didn't do it for me.
Oh, you were doing her a favor.
So,
So why wouldn't you have to pay her back?
The way I understood it was like, don't worry about it now. We're a couple.
Well, then why did you make a payment?
Well, because when she threatened to take me to court, then I decided, well, I don't need any of this kind of mess in my life.
And so you decided to make a payment?
Yes.
So you made one payment for how much?
For $175.
And then, so once you did that, why didn't you just keep making payments?
Because I don't know. I just thought about it later on, and I just felt that I didn't owe her the money.
Okay, before you break up, does she ask for money, or is it after you break up? Or do you break up, or you just fizzle? What happens here?
No, it was after we broke up.
Who broke up with who and how and when?
I guess about a month ago.
Okay, and how did you break up?
Just stopped seeing each other.
There was no conversation?
No calling, no nothing.
Okay, do you have texts or anything to show
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because here, essentially what we have is the age-old question, boyfriend, girlfriend, loan, gift. Okay, where he's saying it's a gift, that he's just so irresistible that you just want to pour money his way, which there's always a little element of truth to, because and it's always a girl on that side. 1 out of every 100 is a boy. And it may be that boys are embarrassed to come to court and ask for the money. I don't know what it is, but boy, am I sick of girls forking over money. But what I have to do, despite how distasteful I think you're giving him money is, I have to actually get to the bottom of it and determine whether it was a loan or a gift. Two things are going to help me to do that in this case. One is the fact that you made a payment. That's on her side of the ledger, okay? And the second thing is apparently what is in your hands. So do you have texts or emails or something from him? What is that?
Well, I have, it was July 19th, he made the first payment. The second payment
When did you guys break up and how?
August 20th, when he left me a threatening message, calling me the word and all this other stuff, and it's all about money with you. And his payment was due July 19th. And I called him at 7 o'clock in the morning and said, I'll meet you at your house, after work. Because up until that point, we were, even though we were still together, we did have some rocky moments. We were still together up until July 19th. On that day, on that Friday, I called him at 7 in the morning because he starts work really early. I said, I'll meet you at the house after work, for the payment. And he's left me a message saying, you can be there, but I'm not going to be home. I didn't get paid. And I said, what do you mean you didn't get paid? I said, you work for the post office. And so I called his brother. I called 2 friends and a cousin that work at the post office. Nobody had a problem with their paycheck. So I contacted him. I said, everyone got paid. Now I know that you're just lying and you're just trying to get away with not paying me. And then that was, I believe that was August 16th. He was supposed to make the payment.
August 16th or July 16th?
July 13th was the first payment, and he did make that. August 16th, the next payment was supposedly due. That's when he was saying, I'm not going to be home. I'm not this. And when I verified that there was no problem with the paycheck, I sent him a text message saying, I will see you in court.
Okay. Would you hand me the text? Let me see what they say. What I want are the texts between you guys, like around July, August.
Okay.
Are you there? And I'll just scroll up and
Okay,
down. Tell my bailiff how you scroll up and down.
You just
Looks
do
like
the
so.
arrow.
Got it?
The
Okay,
arrow.
let's go. Hand it over.
You ready?
Okay.
Okay, she's good.
Hand it over to my bailiff. Let go of the phone.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm nervous.
That's fine, but I'm
but
busy.
So 4 days after I told him I'd see him in court is when the nasty messages started coming and calling me all the bad words and everything. And there's a voicemail on there with him calling me the
Hold on,
word.
please. Hold on. This is all I want to say. I'm sorry for being a 7-letter word starts with A. I don't deserve you. You're a great girl, and someday some guy will come along and meet the best girl. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. You sneaky little B-word. You took Eric's number off my phone and you texted him all my business. I don't believe you would do that. What happened? What happened? Let me ask you, what happened?
Well, she got a couple of my friends' numbers on my phone while I was in the shower or I was in the bathroom, and she went and she texted all my friends all my business
What did she text them?
about money I owe and this and
Did you
that.
do that?
And
Are you still in a
Yes.
state of arrested development in high school?
No, I had talked to
Oh
his.
my God.
I had a
Yes, I was
conversation with
humiliated.
his friend Eric, so that's how I had his number.
Patty, please don't embarrass and hurt me. I'm not sure I can get the money tomorrow. Please talk 1 minute. Talk 1 minute. Where are your answers to these?
Were my answers?
Yeah. How do I get those?
Some of them I do because I had so many.
so
of my-
you're just showing
no,
what
no,
you
no,
want?
I have. There's
Please,
a lot
let's
of the-
just stop this. I'm sorry. Forgive me. Please, you're my girl. Yeah, that's kind of weird. What was she saying that was making you say that? I'm going to sue you, and all of a sudden she's your girl again?
I just didn't want any trouble with the law. I was saying everything and anything just to calm her down, not to have any problems. Because she's got a temper like nobody I've ever met.
How much money did you take from her? Do you even
It was
know?
around 700.
Well, how'd she come up with 1,000?
I really don't know.
She says she paid your gas, gave you money from a pawn ticket or money to pay for something that was in pawn?
Yeah, we went to a store together. I didn't even know where we were going. And all of a sudden, we're in this pawn store and she's pawning off jewelry. I didn't even know she was doing it.
What, did she give you the money?
She gave me a few dollars to help me out for medication I had to get in a drugstore. And
I can't sleep. Please don't do this to me. I'm sorry. Please. I felt a lump on my chest. I'm so scared. I swear. This is you?
Yes,
Did you have a health problem?
yes. For
Sorry
cancer.
to hear that. All right. Is it under control?
I hope so. I have to go back Monday.
Why are you torturing me like this? Just let me leave a voicemail then. I'm sorry for everything I said. I would never blackmail you. Please let me keep the arrangement we had. I will give you another payment on payday. Oh, well, am I supposed to find no arrangement? I'm sorry for calling you that, but then I still don't see what it is he called you. Can you?
It's on the voicemail,
Play the voicemail.
and this is August 20th.
And do you have proof of the 7 bills that you're suing for here?
Yes.
Do you agree that she paid $209 at a supermarket for groceries for you? Hold off a second.
No.
No? Do you have proof that you paid for
Yes.
groceries? How are you going to prove that it's for him and not for you?
Because his supermarket that he shops at is Food Town.
Do you have the receipt for the supermarket, the actual receipt?
I have the actual receipt, no, but I have the on my debit
the
card.
gas. Why is that something he has to pay you?
because he needed gas to get to work. He had no money for gas for work.
Do you agree that she paid $45 to refill your car for gas?
She's lent me a few dollars for gas, yes, here and there.
According to you, the only two things you're supposed to pay back are the utility bills?
Yes.
At the time that you're sending those texts saying, let's just go back to the original arrangement, when you say that, how many times are you going to pay $100? Until what amount, what figures?
Well, it was going to be $175 for four payments.
So according to you,
says
that amounts to
payment
$700, and that's all you were supposed to pay her until now? And now that
Yes.
she's suing you, it's become $1,000?
Yes.
All right, can you play the message?
First saved voice message. You're unbelievable. You took Eric's number off my phone, and you probably took Kay's number off my phone, too, didn't you? You're telling them everything. You're doing this to me? You little... They don't know nothing to do with you. You stay the away from me.
Now,
Not your best moment.
This
You're-
message will be saved for 20...
Not your best. What made you that mad? Just that she said you owed money, or she did do something worse?
No, because she was going back and telling my family all kinds of things about
What was she
us.
saying other than that you owed her money?
that's it.
I
You just didn't want that. That's embarrassing. I'm just trying to figure out if
yes,
she's okay.
yes, and then she's calling up my friends that
All
she
right.
took their numbers
Is there
from.
another message you want me to hear?
Well, just last night, he left me a text message because he wanted me to come over and iron his clothes for court today. After we've been broken up since August 20th.
Did you seriously text this lady to go iron your clothes last night before
Yeah,
court?
well, she's a good ironer, so I figured she would help me out.
This is the way that I've been treated since August 20th.
Don't be ridiculous. That's code. Iron my clothes is code, dummy. You should be flattered and reject it. But that's what that was. You think he really needed you to iron his clothes?
I did a pretty good job, I think.
Oh my God.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. Would you ever loan somebody like this money when they are having significant financial problems?
I would if it's a good friend.
So would you ever pawn your own stuff?
If I'm in that dire of need, probably not.
You were kind of scoffing in the back. What do you think?
Oh, I would definitely loan the money. However, I would not pawn anything off to help support the other person.
If the person were really not, 50-50 whether you're going to get paid back, would you do it?
Under no circumstances would I ever lend money. I would either give money, but I would never lend money.
That's a wise man there, going inside the courtroom.
In the beginning, I felt comfortable with him. We laughed. I felt that I could trust
A
him.
relationship that's based on one side plying the other with money is doomed for failure, okay? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. He agrees to having agreed to pay you $700. The additional funds that you're asking for, it's kind of fuzzy. I'm going to order him to finish paying you the $700. So we're going to deduct from that the $175, and that's a remaining judgment in your favor in the amount of $525. The next time that you meet somebody and are all excited, think about this. If you have to pay, it's probably one-sided. If someone comes up to you and you want to be compassionate, cook them dinner. If it's based on money, it's not real. Okay? Good luck to you. $525, judgment for the plaintiff.
What's the defendant leaving the courtroom first here after hearing that verdict? What's your reaction to it?
Not too happy, because it was not a loan, it was a gift. And after we broke up, all of a sudden it became a loan.
What caused this relationship to hit the rocks?
I don't know. Maybe it was too close to home.
All right.
Okay.
All right, head right down there and let's see what the plaintiff has to say about what the judge just told you.
I'm not very happy because one of the reasons this relationship fizzled is because every time I was with him, it was money, 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 money. And when I ran out of money,
Did a little light bulb go off in your head?
yes, and
When?
that's after the utilities that a grown man can't keep his utilities on.
Well, what did you find so attractive about him at the beginning that caused you to?
I just, because of familiarity, I remember him from high school, and he was a senior and I was a freshman, and I remember him. And
So the memory was attractive or what?
the memory, not
Memory.
him, the memory.
Harvey?
Here's the thing. It's pure and simple. You can't buy someone's love. And that's what happened here. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on their way into the courtroom right now.